Yeah, I mean, that raises another question, but I want to stay on this from a legal perspective, because this is really fascinating, because DeChristopher is engaging in protest, yet from the perspective of the court, they're not going to even acknowledge what he's doing is protest, because that would necessitate allowing the introduction of evidence as to what it was that he was protesting. Right? I mean, if the court does not say allow the jury to know that this was an illegal auction, essentially, or one that did not meet the standards of the federal government which held the auction, it's impossible to see what he's doing in the context of a protest. Did the jury did they need to find that in some way that he was attempting to enrich himself, or is it simply just he was disruptive?
Well, I think more the latter, that it was disruptive. He was not allowed to give any information. The only information that the jury ever heard that would have had any bearing on why Tim did what he did was that he was an environmentalist. But the fact that the judge gave the jury such narrow instructions that it really came down, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, and, I may not say all of this correctly, but the idea that if you signed a piece of paper that stated that you were a bona fide bidder and you were not a bona fide bidder, that's what this trial is about. The other issue, because there were two federal felony charges against him, was that he purposefully went in there to disrupt an oil and gas lease auction. And that it was his intention to disrupt the oil and gas leasing project that goes on, continually. And basically, he was convicted of both of those things. And as you said at the beginning, he really didn't know what he was going to do. He was going to go in there and just sort of, shout or, say this land shouldn't be, drilled on or something.
But when
they handed him that paddle, that's what gave him the idea that, well, maybe I can make a bigger impact here. So yeah, the jury really never had in any way the full information that they should have had to understand this case.
And then what's fascinating also about Tim's story, and your film captures this, is that Tim, at one point in the film, quotes, and forgive me, I just don't remember who he was quoting, but he says something to the effect of, the way you grow wings is to jump off a cliff and grow your wings on the...
Amy Dillard.
Yes, and
Annie Dillard, right?
And you grow those wings on your way down instead of laying low during this time while he's dealing with postponements of his case, and presumably, seeking some type of, or hoping for some type of mitigation here. He goes out and he becomes even more active than he was before.
That's right, and that's what I was saying before about his involvement in mountaintop removal and citizens candidate and many more things. Power shift in Washington, D.C. He followed Al Gore on the stage and gave a very, very impassioned speech. And one of the other things, and maybe I'm jumping ahead too much, is that when Tim was sentenced, the judge said to him, you did not commit the crime of the century, but it was your attitude. It's the fact that you never apologized. You never came forth and apologized to anyone, and you continued to use your activism, standing on a soapbox and expounding on your ideas. And I think that's a real violation of the First Amendment. I mean, don't we have the right to talk about our ideas and our feelings? And yet that was held against him in the sentencing, and the judge actually said, that's why you're getting a stiff sentence. And I think that's outrageous.
It's completely outrageous. I mean, do you think that the Obama administration, was this, this obviously, it's a federal case. How much do you think this came from Washington, and how much do you think it came from federal authorities in Utah?
No, I think it was definitely a federal case. I think obviously Utah was involved, but this was a federal indictment. It was, it came down from the Obama Department of Justice.
I'll give you.
And I am sure that President Obama knows of this case.
I'll give you a perfect example how it came from Washington. Is that we were driving out to have an interview with the head of the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management from Utah. And after about a 6-hour drive, we got a phone call from Tim's attorney. He said that he has canceled the interview. He just got a call from Washington, D.C., where they basically explained to him there's no upside for us to grant an interview to filmmakers, so therefore cancel the interview. So, I think it comes from Washington.
Do you think that in some ways this was a harbinger of the Obama administration's perspective on these type of things? I mean, I really don't think that I had seen this in the context of what we've seen in terms of whistleblowers and in terms of other protest movements. And I think part of that is because it was so early in the Obama administration. But do you think this was sort of a sense of where the Department of Justice sort of perceived just where they were going to start to crack down on these type of things?
Yeah, I think that that the Obama administration the Department of Justice has been tough on anything that they feel is illegal, and I think that this is one aspect of this. I also think it's kind of what Tim has always said about this administration is it's very much a middle-of-the-road administration, and they did invalidate the auction. So they saved the land, and to this day, that land is still safe from oil and gas energy exploitation. But they punished the lawbreaker, so-called. And, maybe that was, here's a gift to the environmentalists, and here's a gift to the energy industry, and that's just my opinion. And I think that is what some other people feel, that, all right, we can sacrifice this young man, but we'll save the land. And, it's just unfortunate because, as I say, we were both very shocked. We thought, well, we had gotten involved in making a film about Tim right after he took his action at the Bureau of Land Management. But then when the land and the auction was invalidated, we thought, well, this is going to be a very short film because, everything is going to be fine. And then when he was indicted, we said, oh, well, maybe not everything is going to be fine. And it took on a much longer process. But, yeah, I don't think that we have a purely environmentalist administration.
I felt also there was a little hangover from the Bush administration. In other words, a lot of officials were still there. The appointments of Bush, I think the Obama administration wasn't up to full speed yet. They had just taken over. So I like to give the Obama administration a little bit of slack myself. That's personal.
And I would qualify. I would qualify, Beth, just your statement about the Obama administration going after people who have committed illegal acts. It sort of depends on from what your position is. I mean, we all know. I mean, for that matter, we all know Tim Geithner and had signed documents that said these are my taxes when they weren't. And we all know, of course, the what's gone on with the banking industry in this country. So, I mean, it seems to me that this is not this and this is maybe where we differ, George. It seems to me that, in fact, this pursuit of Tim DeChristopher is not at all out of character with what we've seen from the Obama administration. And maybe I'm drawing too close of a line from DeChristopher to Aaron Swartz to whistleblowers, but it does seem that often those who expose what is problematic end up paying more of a cost than those who are actually problematic.